Welcome, dear friends. Today's podcast draws its inspiration from the spiritual classic Divine Intimacy, Meditations on the Interior Life for Every Day of the Liturgical Year by Father Gabriel of St. Mary Magdalene, OCD. For more Carmelite resources, visit the General Curia of the Teresian Carmel at discalcedcarmelite.com. Now let us begin our journey into Father Gabriel's profound spiritual insights.
Welcome back. It's great to continue this journey through divine intimacy with Father Gabriel of St. Mary Magdalene.
It's been a beautiful journey so far.
It has. We've delved deep into seeking God in faith
Yes.
and love in the last two episodes.
Two cornerstones.
Really foundational.
Yeah.
And now we're moving to Meditation 20, seeking God in others,
Ah, yes.
which feels particularly relevant
Yeah.
for us as secular Carmelites.
It's so central,
Yeah.
to our charism, to our way of life, trying to find that balance between solitude and engagement with the world.
Yeah, it's so easy to get swept up in the busyness of it all.
Absolutely.
And to see relationships as
Yeah.
distractions rather than opportunities.
I think Father Gabriel really challenges us to reconsider that perspective.
He does. He talks about seeing creatures with a supernatural view.
Rooted in faith, it's not about ignoring the realities of human interaction. We're not turning a blind eye to difficult personalities.
Right. It's not about pretending everyone is perfect.
Exactly. It's about looking deeper, seeing beyond the surface to that spark of the divine.
That's present in every human being.
Yeah.
That reminds me of Santa Teresa and her little way.
Absolutely. That Carmelite spirituality, finding God in the ordinary.
In the everyday encounters.
That's where the extraordinary often lies hidden. Father Gabriel uses this really striking image from the spiritual canticle. He describes creatures as traces of the passing of God.
I love that image. But it's also a little mysterious, isn't it?
It is. It invites us to contemplate.
What does it mean to see those traces? How do we actually do that?
Well, for me, it starts with that fundamental truth from Genesis.
That we're all made in the image and likeness of God.
Yes. God created man in his image. In the divine image, he created him. Genesis chapter 1, verse 27.
Such a powerful reminder.
That every person, no matter who they are, what they've done, carries that reflection of God within them.
But I think we'd be remiss if we didn't acknowledge the struggle
Absolutely.
that so many of us face with this concept.
The struggle is real.
It's easy to see that divine image in those we love and admire. But what about the difficult people?
The ones who've hurt us. The ones who seem to reject God.
How do we maintain that supernatural view then? How do we see those traces when they feel so hidden?
That's a question that deserves its own space. And it's one we'll definitely unpack as we continue this conversation. I think it's important to remember that sin obscures the divine image in others,
It does.
makes it hard to see those traces of God, but it never fully erases them.
Never fully erases them.
Think of it like a masterpiece,
Okay.
covered in dust and grime.
Okay.
The beauty's still there, beneath the surface. We
Yeah.
just have to kind of look a little deeper. And that's where that idea of seeking God in others can become really challenging.
Right, because you're right. It's not that the image is gone. It's just covered up by,
By the effects of sin,
Yeah.
by our own brokenness, by the ways we turn away from God.
and that's also where I think Father Gabriel's warning about attachment comes in.
Yes.
Right.
He's very clear about the dangers of seeking fulfillment solely in human relationships.
Because we can't find it there.
We can't. No human being, no matter how much we love them, can fill that space. That's meant for God.
That's tough to hear.
It is.
Especially in a world that tells us constantly to seek happiness in relationships and romantic love.
In finding the one.
Right. But as secular Carmelites, we know that's not the full picture.
We know that true and lasting joy, that deep sense of peace,
Fulfillment.
can only be found in God. And it's not that relationships aren't important. They are. It's just we're called to approach them with a different perspective,
With that supernatural view.
with the eyes of faith.
And that's where I think Father Gabriel's image of encountering each person as a messenger from God is so powerful.
It is a powerful image.
Can you unpack that a little for us?
Yeah.
How do we actually start to see our interactions, even those small everyday ones, in that light?
It's a shift in thinking, isn't it?
It is.
Instead of seeing those challenging interactions as obstacles,
Yes.
what if we saw them as opportunities for growth?
Okay.
That coworker who frustrates you, That family member who tests your patience, what if they're holding a mirror up to your own imperfections, helping you see where you need to grow in love and patience?
That's a profound shift.
Beautiful.
And we all have that potential for holiness within us.
We do.
And I think that's where the single eye that Father Gabriel talks about in the colloquy comes in.
The single eye of faith. He's pleading with God for that vision that allows us to see beyond outward appearances,
Beyond their hurts and flaws.
to the divine mark within each person.
And I can't help but think of that verse from Matthew 25:40. As you did it to one of the least of these my brothers, you did it to me.
A powerful reminder that our actions towards others,
Our actions towards Christ himself.
ultimately,
It's a challenging call, no doubt.
it is,
To see Christ in everyone.
especially those who are difficult to love.
To respond with compassion and mercy even when we don't feel like it.
But that's where the rubber meets the road, right?
Right? That's where our faith becomes real.
That's where we live out what we believe. And for us as secular Carmelites, that means finding God not just in the quiet of prayer, but in the midst of our daily lives,
In a relationship.
in those messy, complicated human interactions.
And it's in those encounters, I think, in those acts of love and service, that we draw closer to God and allow him to transform us.
More fully into his image.
It's a beautiful and hopeful message. Even in those difficult relationships, even when we feel like we're failing, there's always an opportunity for grace, for growth, for deeper intimacy with God.
And there's always hope for the other person, too. You know, Father Gabriel reminds us in the colloquy that even those who are far from God
Remain objects of his merciful love.
always capable of becoming temples of the Blessed Trinity.
This has been such a rich conversation. I'm so grateful for your insights.
It's been a joy to be here.
As we move into the final part of our reflection, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on how our listeners, as devout Catholics and secular Carmelites, can practically apply these teachings in their own lives.
It really is about putting this into practice, isn't it?
It is. Father Gabriel's invitation to see with a single eye, to perceive that divine image in everyone we encounter, it feels like a call to deeper conversion.
Absolutely. And I think, the first step is really cultivating that awareness,
Yeah.
reminding ourselves moment by moment that each encounter holds that potential for an encounter with God. It's a shift in perspective, a conscious choice to see with the eyes of faith.
It's like putting on a new pair of glasses.
Yes.
The world looks different, doesn't it?
More vibrant,
Yeah.
more full of meaning. And I think that's where the connection to Santa Teresa's little way becomes so important.
It's not about those grand gestures or extraordinary feats.
It's about finding God in the ordinary,
In the small moment.
in the everyday encounters, a smile offered to a stranger, a listening ear lent to a friend in need, a moment of patience with a difficult coworker. Those seemingly small acts, when done with a pure heart and intention, can be so transformative for ourselves and for those we encounter.
So as we close our reflection on Meditation 20, what would you encourage our listeners to reflect on as they move through their week?
I would encourage them to revisit the colloquy at the end of the meditation. Let Father Gabriel's words become your own prayer. Ask God for that grace to see his face in everyone you meet, especially those who challenge you, to love more deeply.
What a beautiful way to end. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and insights with us today.
It was a joy to be here.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this journey as we explore together how to seek God in others. May you see his image in everyone you encounter.
Thank you so much for listening, praying, and being part of this journey. Until next time, may God bless us and keep us close to his heart. Take care and see you soon.